Thrillvania is an amazing haunted attraction. The old saying goes, we used to coin the phrase that we were Disney on a dime. Our special effects is unprecedented. When you come through our attraction, you'll see it's just so real, you can't differentiate between what's not. And that's what gives us the edge to be a part of an amazing attraction. You might walk by something that's a static prop and all of a sudden that static prop's all in your face and everybody says, oh my gosh. So we have Haunted Verdun Manor, which is, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I love, this is my favorite, I'm sorry. Haunted Verdun Manor.
You're not supposed to have a favorite.
I do. So I love them all, but Verdun is close to my heart.
And that's what we're standing in front of.
Yes, I worked here when I was a kid. I was a kid in a high school. We also have two other attractions, Cassandra's Labyrinth of Terror. It's a 3D house. We went through and painted every nook and cranny, the ceiling, floor, the whole thing is all 3D. And it's amazing. It's a clown run attraction. If you're afraid of clowns, that place will terrify you to no end, without a doubt. We also use loud horns and different speakers. In my opinion, 50% of your attraction is sound, and you have to have the best sound systems you can think of, because it just makes you feel better. You feel the music, you feel the sound, and that's a whole character itself.
Yeah.
And then we have Sam Haines walking trail, which is, we did at first have a hayride, and the years we ran the hayride, we had tractors, they run, and we have different soundtracks, and people loved it. It just didn't have that. You didn't have that feel. You didn't have that feel walking in the woods and getting scared. It was almost campy, like a boat ride or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
hey, look, there's a hippopotamus and people going up the tree and stuff like that. It's not scary. So we decided to eliminate the tractors and make it a walking trail. And that was by far the best thing we've ever done. People just the actors alone just completely own that attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some great sets, but that's I guess the main part that I think of is, it's not just having glitz and glamour and having a beautiful set, it's having the right complement of people with the skill sets to be able to take control of those things. I think it's super important.
Let's talk a little bit about what you have planned for 2022.
Mass improvements on the infrastructure. A lot of times in Texas, the inclement weather starts to hit us. It's obviously hurricane season, and sometimes we get some of the low pressure disturbances coming up, and then we get rained on, and nobody wants to walk in rain. We definitely put asphalt and recycled concrete throughout the whole complex, so you're not getting mud. Then again, we're outdoor attraction. A lot of it is outdoor, walking from haunt to haunt or attraction to attraction. Does take about 30 minutes just to walk through them all. We're improving the infrastructure on how you walk, make sure things are put in place to where you have a less invasive environment when you travel to each attraction. That's really the improvements more than anything else, is to help the throughput and the flow and to help the infrastructure so we can have better things. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the new scenes and sets, because that's like giving you an advantage. I'm not going to do that. You have to just come out and see it.
Let's talk a little bit about finding the right people. Tell me how you are dealing with staffing this year to maintain that consistent team.
I think the most important thing is you add value to your crew. I think if they don't understand it's just a job, they don't care. I look at it as like a Broadway musical. We audition people for jobs, and it becomes very competitive. People who've worked with me for 20, 30 years, and there are some that work with me for that, their job is up for grabs. If there's people that can execute and do better at it, we'll audition them, and they'll get voted and they get scored. It's a very simple method, but everybody goes through it. So if you become part of our cast, then you'll be granted to come back, and then you'll have a higher paid position. The ones who don't, they'll get an email saying, thank you for coming out and audition for us, and this is what you scored, and better luck next year. We look forward to seeing you, but unfortunately you're not going to be part of our team this year. I know it sounds pretty harsh. We all have a bunch of friends and we all work together, but then again, you have to stay relevant. You have to stay in with the times, and you have to make sure you offer the same consistent product all the time. So whatever I could do or learn to get better, it's what I do. I take a lot of risk, and a lot of smart risk is part of it, because in our market, sometimes it works great in our market, but it doesn't work in other people's market. We plan ahead. We look at the future. We go, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to try this. It might be horrible, but guess what? It might work. One other thing that I use is, and it's going to be a simple phrase, I'll tell you this: if you don't track it, you don't master it. You track everything. I track temperature, I track if it's raining, I know how much toilet people are using. You have to track it all. I know it sounds horrible, But then you understand, you have a benchmark. Okay, we're going to do this year. This. Hey, maybe we should cut this day out because, yeah, we broke even. Nobody's in business to break even. Honestly, we want to make money, and that's how we survive. I think the most important thing is you put an ear out to your customers. Customers are going to tell you what they want. They're going to tell you everything, and follow up with the complaints or even the good news. The big things, follow up. Follow up with people. Get that information and use that and figure out, hey, if I have 10 people says this is a problem, I'm thinking, you know what, you have a problem, and let's see if we can come together and fix it. And we did that with online ticketing as a godsend. We control when we sell the tickets, how many we can sell per block. The biggest benefit is you don't have a crowd at 9 o'clock that shows up at your haunt and you're open to 3 o'clock in the morning because you're putting that crowd out.
Yeah.
You're actually breaking it up into spaces, and I think it's something we've done for several years here, but you have to look for that. I don't know. To me, I feel that you have to see those things ahead of where you're going to bring your business. It's hard to see that. I'm a big person about repurposing things. You can go out to Trans World or any of these haunted shows, and you can see all these new gadgets. Gilderfluke, everybody knows them, and I like Gilderfluke. We have several animatronics that work off of Gilderfluke. Sometimes they're very complicated to work with, and they're very costly. And sometimes it's easier for us to. We've developed an R&D part of our infrastructure, and we look at things of what we want to do, and then we go through there and say how much does it cost? Does the effect help the cost? Are people going to be excited about it? Is it value added or is it non-value added? It's just like a business, and we look at every aspect of it. And then it goes through proof of concept, we go through it, we lock it down in engineering, then they start to build it, and then they implement it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's just like any other engineering business out there.